This next segment is important for those who are getting ready to make any plans on traveling this holiday. We all take different precautions to protect our homes, luggage, and personal belongings while on vacation. According to my next guest, you should also include a plan to protect your information on your phone and computer that may be with you, and be careful of that Wi-Fi. Let's take a listen. And joining us on The Factor Uncensored, we have with us Doug Shupe from AAA Texas. Doug, good to see you. Many people will start traveling. We have two major holidays left, Christmas and New Year's Eve. And one of the concerns that I didn't even think of was while you're traveling, your wireless internet safety that you may be relying on, like Wi-Fi. You see free Wi-Fi and you jump on it. But sometimes people looking to scam us take advantage of us with those products that may be out there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just what hackers are looking for. And with so many people, 9.1 million Texans traveling during this holiday season, it's really important that we protect our data. So when you're waiting, at the airport for your flight or a bus station or train station, you might get bored, you might want to get online, but be very careful about the networks that you choose. You really want to, before you click that connect, make sure that you're not about to fall into some trap by a hacker. Networks that do not require a password will often, transmit your data not encrypted, without any encryption whatsoever. And so that's really, making it allowable to be viewed by almost anyone with some basic tools that can help easily view what you're transmitting. So you always want to make sure that this is a legitimate network. When you're in a public place, ask someone that works there, what's your network and your password. Look for signs that say free Wi-Fi by the establishment. They're often at airports. So make sure that you're connecting to a legitimate network.
Now, I have seen some free Wi-Fi, and some of it is, and I think once you sign on, it says it's not encrypted. So should you be wary of that, even if
Absolutely.
it's an established company that you know and trust?
Yeah, if it's not encrypted, you do need to be very careful, because there are some widely available tools that can allow hackers and others that are familiar with this to be able to see your data and your information that you're sending out there and receiving. So you always want to make sure that you're using encryption when you're using a public Wi-Fi.
Now, how about risky websites that may be out there? What should we look for? What should we be wary of?
Yeah, because even if you find the most secure and safest available network, it's important to be aware of websites as you browse. You need to stay safe when you're doing that as well. And so only browse websites that have that HTTPS address. These sites provide encryption on most of the sensitive data that is transmitted. You always want to avoid sharing very sensitive data when using a public network. That would be, banking data, shopping data, putting credit card information. Even on a public Wi-Fi that has encryption, you still need to be very careful. Save that stuff for when you know for sure you're in a more secure network. As a rule of thumb, it's best to avoid websites that require a username and password when being accessed through unsecured Wi-Fi. And even when a hacker cannot directly access your password, if they're able to see which websites that you're on, there are password breaking tools actually that can help them generate millions of passwords at a time in attempt to steal your information. So you always have to be careful about the websites that you're visiting when on public Wi-Fi.
Now, I've been told in the past, and I'm not sure that this is still going on because I am like 100 years old, but when you look at the web address on the internet, on that website, there would be a lock there. Do they still have that lock there showing security, safety for you?
Absolutely, they do. That's what a lot of people look for when when looking for a Wi-Fi network, and they may get excited when they see that unlocked, logo. But you have to be careful, because just because it's unlocked does not mean that it's safe for you to use. It could lack the encryption that's required to prevent these hackers to seeing our data. And one of the biggest ways to be able to secure your information is using a virtual private network, or what's also called as a VPN. And there are several options out there that you can pay for, or free options as well. And what VPNs do is they encrypt all of the transmitted data, which just adds that extra layer of security between your information and the potential hackers that are out there. It's also important that you set up your devices to defend themselves. Things that you want to do before traveling: ensure that all of your apps and your operating system are up to date. Also, you want to make sure that you disable any file sharing, as well as not allowing your device to automatically connect to available networks, because it could connect to something that is not encrypted and that is not safe.
And it become a nightmare for you. Doug Shupe,
Yeah.
AAA Texas, thank you for joining us for these travel tips as we get closer to the holidays.